be better than the first 183, right? Okay, let's get started. To start off, we need 2 sticks of butter. 2, I tell you, 2 sticks of butter melted. Salted, unsalted, you know, do what you got. That's what I always say. Just use what you got. Usually in baking recipes, you use unsalted butter, but if you have it, great. If you don't have it, well, there you go. All right, so we have 2 sticks of melted butter already in our bowl. Look at that loveliness. Now, we're gonna put in 2 cups of brown sugar. Is that lovely or what? I'm not gonna plop because then I'll have melty butter all over me. There we go. 2 cups of brown sugar. Then we're gonna add 1 cup of flour. AP, just your basic all-purpose flour, okay? And then we need 4 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and give this just a little stir because, you know, I just put a bunch of brown sugar on the bottom. Normally I don't. Normally I just dump, but my brown sugar has some clumps in it. I know a lot of people use the blender for this, but I always thought it's like butter, eggs, sugar, and flour. Why you need a mixer for that? But if you want to use a mixer, that's all fine and dandy. I just want to smash all of my big clumps of brown sugar. It's not horrible if you're taking a bite of this and you happen to get a big clump of brown sugar, but there you go. Okay, see how it looks already? It's kind of thick. I like it. Today, we need to finish up and get rid of this year. I know. Oh, you got the berry. Okay, Lois, I'm close on that. I'm close on that. I love Rebecca too, Lynn. Peyton wore red, white, and blue for 4th of July to school. Okay, love your bowls. Well, thank you. Okay, ready? 4 eggs. We need 4 eggs. Here we go. 1, 2. You're gonna ask me small, medium, or large eggs. Doesn't really matter. I always buy large just because that's pretty much what goes in almost every recipe. So there you go. Okay, 4 eggs. Wipe the egg guck off my hands. Now this is probably why people would use a mixer. Darker brown or darker light brown. It doesn't matter. I use dark. That's what I had. I use dark. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the one will be a little darker color than the other one. Use the dark. Let's go all out here. Use the dark. That's what I'm using because, you know, it has more molasses in it. Dark brown sugar does. Has more molasses. And then, so then it's just ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Okay. So now the biggest deal is to get your egg totally incorporated. You don't want to see any yellow bits or white bits. I know, because, you know, that's yellow. And the white bits that you see might be shell, so don't put shell in there. You don't need crunchy. Okay, now at this point, everybody knows. Well, if you were in Homemade Gourmet, you know how I crack my eggs. Whoa! At this point, you put in 1 cup of chopped pecans, because that's what makes it a mini pecan pie or a pecan pie bar, right? Except Cindy's family does not like pecans. We are really not a big nut family. I mean, we're nutty, don't get me wrong, but we are not a big nut fan. So what I'm telling you, when you make this is the point where you take a cup of chopped pecans and you do this. Boop. And then you give it another stir, and there's your pecans. We are not having pecans. We are having it just like this. When I was growing up, so now I've got a pie crust. Just a store-bought pie crust in a pie plate. 10-inch pie plate. See? Just put it in there. Okay, I didn't blind bake it. I didn't pre-bake it. I'm just got that raw crust in there. Hello, Susan. Yeah, dark brown sugar's the bomb. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pour it in. So when I was growing up, you know, holidays, now people do different ones. But, you know, when I was growing up, it was always, sorry, I gotta use my, you know. It was always a pumpkin pie and a pecan pie. Those were the 2 pies at Thanksgiving and a lot of times Christmas too, right? So that's what you got, pecan and pumpkin. And I like pumpkin pie, it's fine. Okay, hold on, I'm losing the glasses. And I'm losing the bowl. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I like the pecan pie, but I never liked the pecans. And so I would like pick through the pecans. Like I'd get a piece of pie, you know, and when I was growing up, that was a big old no-no. If you got something, you had to eat it, all of it. But I would pick through and pick all the pecans out. So because I was my grandmother I called Nanny. And so because I was my grandmother's favorite, go figure, right? We were a lot alike. She was naughty just like me. And so she would make pecan pie. Let's just taste that, shall we? Just a taste test we should have. Kathy is gonna tell me that has raw eggs in there and I should not do that. But it's so good. So there you go. If I die from raw egg, there you go. I don't know. Okay, so we poured it in our pie. We're gonna stick that in the oven. Yours will have pecans all in there. And look, nutty. You will be nutty. Anyway, and you're gonna bake that 325 for 20 minutes. Poof, you got a pie. Why did I put it in a pie crust? Because you have an option. This recipe originally was made to make muffins, mini muffins. That was all good and fine, except, like I said, I'm lazy and I never liked spraying the little tins and then trying to dig them out. Number 2. Then I started making it as a bar, because that was much easier. I just mix that stuff up, throw it in a pan, you know, spray the pan, throw it in the pan, bake it, and then everybody can get the size they want, except normally they're gone within a couple of hours. But since it's pie day, and I thought, well, you know, it's kind of like a pecan pie, except instead of, you know, how it's the sugary, almost syrupy inside, this is gonna be a little bit more solid, a little bit more, because we got the flour, so it's a little bit more cakey. So I'm thinking it's gonna be lovely, and so there we go. Our mini pecan, our mini no pecan pie, not muffin, not bar pie. All right, so this is going in the oven, and then we gotta move because we're making something on the stove. Come on, let's go. We're moving. Pie's in the oven. Needs to bake 20 minutes. Isn't that exciting? Okay, can you see me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I bet you can. There we go. Okay, I think this, I'm not certain about the sunglasses. They're kind of driving me bazonkers. We'll see. Okay, you need a skillet. Big old skillet. You got a big old skillet? There we go. All right, so we're gonna put the skillet on here. This may be the burner that, oh, and my thing is gone. This may be the burner that doesn't come on. Oh, here it is, okay. Let's see if this is the burner that comes on or doesn't. Oh, it came on. Zippity-doo-dah. Do you have gas? Do you have gas and then it does you've got that one that never comes on? We're gonna add about a tablespoon of oil, just regular old vegetable oil, okay? Nothing special about the oil. These are going. Sorry, they're going. I still got the Jamaica shirt on. Now, this deal that we're making over here is based on mini pecan pie goodness. Ooh, I like that, with no pecans. All right, this recipe I've kind of tweaked because the recipe originally, like if you go to Jamaica, one of the big things, it's like a snack, and they're called Jamaican meat pies. And they're about yay big. You make a pie crust, or you make a crust, you know, right? And you roll it all out, and then you cut little circles. And then you're gonna make the filling that I'm making. Then you put the filling inside these little circles, you fold them over, you crimp them, and then you fry them. And they're quite delightful. They've got a nice little in it, because it's Jamaican spices, right? What did your grandmother do for you? Oh, she left the pecans out. Thank you, Cindy. You know, it could be squirrel around here. Squirrel. So she would make a pecan pie just for me, but no pecan. So it was just that syrupy, sweet goodness. So good. It was mine. My pie. Nanny made pies for just me. Okay, so Jamaican inspired. So we got our oil. We brought that up. We're heating it up. We are going to use one onion. An onion. This is a yellow onion, but you can use a white onion. You can use a red onion, but an onion nonetheless. Now, I'm also going to add one yellow bell pepper. So far, you're happy with me because you're like, onion, bell pepper, I got this. You don't have a yellow one, use a green one or a red one. The yellow one is a little sweeter, and that was what I'm going for. But if you don't have it, use what you got, okay? Now, This recipe calls for a scotch bonnet pepper. A scotch bonnet pepper is a little bitty orangish yellow pepper, and it's got a kick to it. It's like 100,000 on the meter. My grocery store didn't have it, so we're going with the jalapeno. I'm so sorry, because this won't be like authentic, but we'll still get some heat out of this. Now, if you're like, oh, I'm not a heat person. Okay, even if you use the jalapeno, which is a lot less heat, use the jalapeno, just take out the seeds and the pithy yellow stuff, white stuff inside. Just take that out and chop it up very fine. Just chop, 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 very fine, and use that. You want this flavor, okay? Just remember, don't hold the jalapeno and chop it up, or the serrano, whatever you're using. And then, so what I do, the little plastic bags that you get at the produce section, and they have, that you put your produce in. So when I get home and the jalapeno or the serrano or whatever the pepper is in there, I just flip the bag around and put it around my hand. So I flip the plastic bag around my hand, and then I hold the pepper, and so I chop with this hand. This hand does not touch the pepper. This is the hand that holds the pepper, and then while I'm cutting and chopping and taking everything out, this is the only hand, and it's wrapped in the plastic bag. Now, if you have gloves, you could certainly do that, but that would require me to go get a glove, and quite frankly, there's the plastic bag that I got for free at the grocery store. So I do that, and then when I'm done, I use this hand that's still wrapped in the bag to pick up the, the top parts that I cut off and the seeds and all that, put that, and then fold it around and put it in the trash. Ta-da! So neat, so nice. Okay, so while this is cooking, we're gonna need something else. Now, you know how I am about hamburger magic. You should be able, at this point, you've been watching for very long, you should be able to go to your freezer and immediately take out a pound of hamburger meat, 2 pounds of hamburger meat, however many you have, in your freezer that's already cooked. You should already have this. But assume with me that you're naughty, and you have not done hamburger magic yet. In that point, if you haven't done hamburger magic, then as these are cooking, you're gonna wanna add a pound of hamburger meat and let that start cooking as well, okay? So this would be the point, we've got it in here, they're starting to soften a little bit. This would be the point where I would add your hamburger meat, pound of hamburger meat. I don't have to do that yet, because mine is cooked, okay? Now, here's the big thing. Now we're gonna make our spice mixture. And so maybe the scotch bonnet threw you, and you went, oh, really, Cindy, scotch bonnet? Maybe that threw you. And that's okay. Just use a jalapeno, really, it'll be fine. Now we're gonna make our spices, okay? You ready? All right, we're gonna start, there's only 2, maybe 3. There's only 2 or 3 that I think you might have issue with. Everything else will be okay. All right, so let's start with the easy stuff, okay? I'm actually gonna use measuring cups today. We're gonna use a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? There we go. We're gonna use a half a teaspoon of onion powder, not onion salt, because I just added salt, right? Onion powder. I know you're gonna say it's a lot. We're gonna use a teaspoon, let's go up, a teaspoon of paprika. Now I'm using smoked paprika because you know I am. Luis, my friend, you're here. Hey, Beck. Hello, everyone. Hey, Reese. Okay, so I'm using the smoked paprika, but you can use regular paprika. It's fine. 1 teaspoon. Okay, going in here. Becca, you missed. I made the homemade gourmet mini pecan pie muffins as a pie with no pecans. All right, so now we have our paprika, just a pinch. I know you're gonna say, but I'm gonna tell you how to make this not too hot. A pinch of cayenne pepper, a pinch. There you go. If you like it really hot, put in more than a pinch, okay? We're gonna need a half a teaspoon, I gotta go back down. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. This is granulated garlic, which is basically the same thing, okay? Half a teaspoon. You know, me, you're surprised that I didn't up it to like a tablespoon, right? Okay, now, here are the 3 that are gonna cause you, maybe, depending on your spice cabinet, some consternation. If you were my age or a little older, when you got married, everybody gave you the spice thing, the spice rack. And it was funny because years later, 20 years had gone by, and that spice rack was still on the wall, but most of them had never been opened. So I don't know if that's you. Thank you, Louise. I hope you're feeling better, dear. Oh, good morning, Mandy. Good to see you. Okay, so these are the 3 spices that might give you a headache, but it shouldn't. The first one is allspice. You know, allspice. I always used to joke, if this is allspice, why do we need all the rest of them? If this is allspice. Anyway. All right, we're going to use a half a teaspoon of allspice. Okay, I'm about to freak you out. Here's the other one. A half a let's see. Is it a half? No. A half a teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric, you say? I don't have that. Okay, go get some. Go get some turmeric. This is what turns things yellow. And turmeric has great health benefits. It's supposed to help with anti-inflammatory stuff. You know, who knows? Does it really? I don't know. But we're putting it in there. Half a teaspoon of turmeric. Oh, it's a beautiful orange color. And then the last thing is a teaspoon and a half. So I'm going to have to go back and forth. Well, I'll just get 3, right? 3. Let's use math skills here. Okay? All right, so the last one is curry powder. Now, you've got some choices now. You can just use a basic curry powder, which is what this is. Or if you like things really spicy, they actually sell a hot curry powder. And you certainly could use that too. Okay? So, a tablespoon and a half of curry powder. Okay, now, our veggies are soft. Hold on. And then, okay, I just put it in a bowl. All this, you see, look, it's a princess. Whoops, I gotta go this way. It's a princess. It's a princess. Anyway, this is a loopy bowl. So I just put my stuff in here and now I'm giving it a stir, okay? Because I'm just mixing that all together, okay? Got it all mixed together? Mixing. We're mixing. Okay. Sherilyn, you have turmeric. Yay, it is very healthy. You need more spices, Linda. You don't like curry? Just give it a shot, please. I know, it's pretty, isn't it? Just give it a shot. On any of these recipes, it's one meal. You know, if you make it and nobody likes it, order pizza, eat a sandwich, have a bowl of soup. But give it a shot. All right, so now if you have already put your hamburger meat in here and it's cooking, then we need to wait until your hamburger meat is done. But remember, mine came out of the freezer. It's defrosted. And it was already cooked because I did hamburger magic. So now I'm just going to put my hamburger in. Yay, hamburger. And mix it all together. When I cooked this hamburger, all I cooked it with was salt and pepper. That was it. So sometimes when I do hamburger magic, I'll go ahead and pre-season it, if you watch that episode, with either Italian spices or Mexican spices. But then, of course, I label it. And that way, like with the Mexican ones, if I want to make, so it's got cumin and smoked paprika and cilantro and all that in it. If I do that, then I can have tacos or enchiladas or taco soup. And it's just really dumping the bag of already cooked meat in there, right? So that's a good thing. If I do Italian, then I'm going to put in basil and oregano and parsley and stuff like that, a lot of garlic, and then I have it ready for a sauce or a lasagna or something like that. Okay, there were chunks. I don't like chunks. Okay, now I'm doing a favor, and my friend who is usually needs this is not on today. So Mary Beth, I hope you watch the rerun. Here it is. I'm going to put this in a pie. But there's a lot of you out there that are doing the, oh, wait, I got to add my spices. Let's add my spices. Oh, look at those spices. Look at those spices. Come on. There we go. Do you like my spoon? It's called happiness. Does it make you happy? Makes me happy. Happiness. Okay. So, I'm going to give this a toss. Oh, yummy. If you're pre-cooked and you feel like you need a little liquid, you can add a little water or a little bit more oil. Doesn't matter. I'm okay with this. I just want to, oh, the spices just hit the heat. Oh, life is good. We're in Jamaica, man. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So here's the favor I'm doing for you no carby people. For you folks that do not do carbs, that are trying to watch your carbs, whether you're diabetic or you're doing keto or whatever it is, instead of putting this in a pie, here's what you do. You can get a bag of cauliflower rice. Is that what it's called? Finely chopped cauliflower. Yeah, it's called cauliflower rice. Anyway, so it's already very fine, and we're using this. This is frozen. Or if you don't have this or you can't find it, you can obviously get a head of cauliflower and your box grater and go to town, right? And grate it up. It makes a huge mess, but it is much cheaper than buying it by the bag like this. All right, so for you folks that are on keto or you're watching your carbs for whatever health reasons or weight loss reasons, here we go. Now I have put in this entire bag, which is 12 ounces. 12 ounces of cauliflower rice, if you will. I always hate when we call things that it's not. Could we just call it grated cauliflower? Because if you call something cauliflower rice, that just means you're trying to make me believe that it tastes like rice, when in fact, it is not rice, right? Like fake pasta. No fake pasta. Call it something else. Okay, now, this is perfect just the way it is. And this would be the recipe. We would top with the green onions. I cut up 2 green onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump those in there. Dumping, okay? You could put them on the top when you serve it, but I like it like this. Okay, so if you are having an issue, like I said, with any kind of gluten, here we go, okay? Because really, we had vegetables, meat, a great bunch of spices, right? Spices were great. And then the cauliflower. So, okay, so here you go. Look at that. See? It looks like meat and rice and veggies. Is that lovely? I love that. Okay, so we should taste. Hold on. Let's taste, shall we? It doesn't really have a lot of heat. It's not gonna send you over the edge. You're gonna be just fine. But the flavor is phenomenal. That being said, keto folks, we're done. That's your meal. The rest of us, let's move forward. All right, for the rest of us, I'm gonna take a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Now, you keto folks can do a 1/4 cup of sour cream in here. If you do all this recipe and you taste it and you say, you know what, that's just too hot for me, that's fine. Take a 1/4 cup of sour cream and put it in here, and that's gonna cool it off, right? Anytime you're making something and you feel like there's too much heat, just put a little sour cream in there, and the sour cream or milk, you know, some kind of dairy will cool it off enough so that your taste buds are fooled, right? And so all that heat isn't so bad. Now, I'm adding the sour cream not to cut the heat, but because I kind of want a binder. And I'm not putting cheese. I've never seen a Jamaican meat pie that had cheese in it. So, I mean, maybe it exists. I'm sure it probably exists. I've just never seen that. But I needed a binder because now I'm making a big pie out of this. So a 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, whatever you want to do. If it's too spicy for you and you're going to make the pie, put in a 1/2 cup. If it's fine, just put in the 1/4 cup. Because again, I'm just looking for a binder. Okay, I'm almost ready to move. Are you ready to move with me? Because we got this done. Yum! We got this done and we're moving, okay? Here we go. You ready to go with me? And up we go. Come, 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 come. We're going back to where, you know, we normally are. Okay. Now, where were we yesterday? Oops. The lights went out. Yesterday, we had a pie plate. This is my burgundy berry green. The one that I did, the other one is like stars or something. I need your help, however. There's 34 of you on here. Those of you who are Polish pottery fans, okay? If you're a Polish pottery fan, so all Polish things, you know, Rebecca's got this 15% off all of the pie plates. I want a new pie plate, but I cannot decide which pie plate, which pattern to get. So you guys have seen what I have. Some of you have your favorites. So if you wouldn't mind, give me some suggestions. If you use rice, how much? Lois, so I did, that's a 12-ounce bag. I probably wouldn't do more than a cup of rice, cooked rice, you know, a cup, and then put that in there. That should be fine. Okay, so now we're gonna take our mixture, our Jamaican meat pie mixture. Oh wait, so normally what would happen at this point is we would roll out our dough from scratch. We would roll out our dough and we would make a circle, you know, like the size of this bowl. We would make a circle and then we would put a little filling in the middle and then we would turn it over, crimp the edges, and we would fry this. Dragonfly. Okay, maraschino, Susan's Garden, Mars High. I don't know what that, maraschino. I bet Linda's trying to say maraschino. Okay, that being said, I'm too lazy for that. I don't have the time, energy, or want to make tiny little pies. So we're making a big old pie, a bop, a big old pie, bop. So we've got our, spray your pie pan, put your crust in here, and now we're just gonna dump our filling in, okay? Dump, you know me and the dumpy thing. Okay, can you see? Maybe I should do it at an angle. Can you see? Oh, so good. Everything is already cooked, right? So everything that we're putting in here is done. You don't have to worry about, oh, will my family be hurt because I, you know, didn't cook something long enough. We're only cooking this like about 20 minutes. And the 20 minutes is your pie crust ready, okay? Now, so you're going, okay, well, it's just a pie, and it's got stuffing in there. Okay, and that's fine, although the stuffing is quite delightful. Okay, so I got this in here. This is a 2-pie crust, okay? I'm gonna smush down so that I make sure that all the corners are happy. You know, the corners get jealous if the middle gets all the good stuff, okay? La, la, la. This is a 10-inch pie plate, just like the last one was. Okay, so I filled it all up. Garden party. Garden party, Susan's Garden. Got a lot of Susan's Gardens. You know which one I was looking at? Buy the blue polka dot one. Yeah? I was kind of leaning towards this one. I just think that's pretty. I wish the pie plate came in... Oh, I don't have it now. I don't know. Oh, this pattern. The purple pansy, I think, but I haven't seen it. Okay, so now we got on this. Scoop off your remaining, and now we need another pie crust. There it is. There's the other pie crust. Ta-da! We're gonna unroll. La la la. Lazy. All of you who make homemade pie crust is just shaking your head at me. Linda, that's the one you like. I know, berry. Anyway, okay, we're unrolling, and we're just gonna set this on top, setting on top. All right, I'm gonna smush. I'm gonna make a little indent in the very, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing, okay? Look, I'm gonna do it this way. Let's see if I can hold one hand and do it. I'm going around the edges, and I'm just kind of pushing in. You see? Right up against where the other pie crust already is, right? Now, some of you will say, I should trim off. That's just wasteful. So, see, I'm just taking my finger and I've gone all the way around, okay? I've gone all the way around the pie crust. So you see that? Whoops. Let me make sure I go. There we go. You see? I've gone all the way around. Now, you can be pretty, right? Purple pansy. I would like that too, but I don't think she has it in there. Hey, Judy. I figured you would like them. I know. They're all beautiful. You can be pretty and do this thing, you know, where you make it all like, you know, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. So, quite frankly, I'm just going to do a roll. I'm just going to roll it over so that it may not be necessarily pretty, but it's fine. I'm not always about pretty. I'm more about what tastes good. And Philip really likes crust. Like, I'm not a big crust person. Like, when you get the pie, Philip always loves the crust. And so he likes it when I put like a bump of crust on the edge, roll it over, because then that's the thick part. Anyway, silly. You do your crust the way, oh, Maribeth, were you here the whole time? I did it, I gave you the recipe without the pie crust, just cauliflower rice, so that Rod can eat it. So it's just the meat and the veggies and the cauliflower rice. And then Rod can eat this recipe. Okay, so there's our pie. Now here's a little magic, because you know that might just be too boring for me. We're gonna make an egg wash, but we're gonna make it special. Okay, I have to come back over here and get this. Okay. Look what I figured out. Do you see this? This is a ramekin. This is a spoon rest. Look at that. You know, a lot of times you use the, I don't know if you do, but I use the ramekins like for little bitty custards or little bitty pies. And so then I'll just make 4 of them, but they're hot. And then if you put it on a big plate, it kind of slides and you're trying to make it stand. These little spoon rests are perfect. Look at that, doesn't slide anywhere. It's like its own little plate. How cool is that? Ramekin, spoon rest. Ta-da! I know, you're very excited, aren't you? Okay, so we're gonna make an egg wash. I have in this bowl, in my little ramekin, 1 egg, the whole egg. I didn't separate out. 1 egg and about a teaspoon of milk. Why milk? You can use milk, you can use water. Here's the deal. It depends on, do you want your crust to brown faster, to look glossy? Those are all things that you want to take into consideration into whether you use no liquid, usually the egg, whether you use the egg with milk, the egg with water, the egg white by itself, the egg white with, I mean, there's 100 different combinations. And each combination has, like, milk has, it hits the proteins. Water doesn't necessarily do that. Brown, glossy, brown and glossy, look it up. I'm using a little bit of both. Hey, Nell, now, this is what's gonna send this into overdrive. I gotta get the measuring pins. Just a whiff. So I'm using I don't have a 1/8, so I'll use the 1/4. 1/4, the whole 1/4, Cindy? Yeah, 1/4. I'm good with 1/4, if I can dig it out of there, of the turmeric. The turmeric, right? Oh, so good. Okay, I'm putting the turmeric in there. We can say it has health benefits, and that's why I'm doing it. That's not why I'm doing it. But we can say that. We can say, oh, it's a turmeric egg wash, and therefore it's good for us. It fights inflammation and headaches and makes you all good. Just makes it a darker orange color. And that's what I'm going for, the darker orange color. Actually, I'm gonna add just a whiff more. Because I want it. You don't have to. I'm adding another. So that meant I added a 1/2 teaspoon. Oh yeah, now I like this color. Good. Yay. Okay. Just whisking, using a fork. You could use a baby whisk if you so desire. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm gonna take my handy dandy brush. If you do not have a handy dandy brush, go get one. No, you can use a spoon, like put a little, then use the back of your spoon to go on. We wanna go everywhere on the pie. I hope you can see the pie. Hold on, I'm gonna tilt this down just a sniff, because I want you to be able to see the pie. And I'm hoping against hope that you can see that this is just not a plain, clear egg wash, right? I'm hoping that you're gonna be able to see that it's got a lovely orange tint to it, okay? Because that's what I'm going for. And the taste. We'll taste the turmeric as well, okay? Make sure you get all of your crust, okay? All the way around, and then just use your brush to go back and forth. You don't want any clumps on here, or a big wad of egg anywhere. You want this to be smooth and satiny. Okay, once you're sure that all of the crust has been bathed in yumminess, we're setting that aside. And how cool is this? So I did it like this, and now when I'm done, I set this down, and I have somewhere to put my little brush. Yay me. Okay, that's it. That's it. We're gonna put this in the oven, 325 for 20 minutes, maybe 25. All I want you to do is to look at this Oh, I need one other thing. A knife. I need a knife. Well, you know what? I can use oh, here's a knife. Cut. We got to cut. We have to do a cut. Now, my mom always did the cross in the middle. Maybe your mom did something else. I'm doing the cut. Do the cut after you did your egg wash, okay? Because otherwise, when you put your egg wash in, it'll seep down into that hole. Oh, I got a little onion out of there. It'll seep down into the hole and then it'll seal it back up. We don't want that. We don't want it to seal back up. It is a great color. Okay, so that's it. This is going in 20, 25 minutes, 325 degrees, because all we're doing is cooking the pie crust. That's it. Everything else in there is cooked and it's lovely. And then tonight, I want you to go find your sunglasses. You could put on your swimsuit, but I didn't want to scare anybody. Put on your sunglasses. Find your Jamaica man stuff and say, oh, baby, tonight we're in Jamaica, right? Maybe too much fun, Cindy. Since we're halfway through the year, 183 days down, 183 days to go. Let's make a resolution. Let's make a resolution to be more with our community, be more with our family, be more loving. Let's cook some more so that we can eat together and really have some fun. Have some fun and let's be happy. Don't worry, man. Be happy. So from my kitchen to your kitchen, I hope you have an island awesome day with some great Jamaican spices. And then don't forget your holiday pie in there. We will see you tomorrow at 11.
That's a wrap.
Bye-bye.